you're a liar. You do have cheek filler. No, I don't. You shared that on TikTok. No, I didn't.
Well, unfortunately for her, gaslighting her followers saying that she never got cheek filler and she never posted such a thing on TikTok doesn't work so well when we can dig up the proof with pretty little effort. Let's make one thing clear, that she absolutely posted this Christmas haul with the intention of everybody believing that everything she showed was real. She wouldn't be making this video confirming that things were fake unless she got caught red-handed. Don't try to flip it back on us. You're in the wrong. You deceived people. You lied. You got caught. There are a few things that you can always count on in this life: that the sun will always rise, that gravity will always keep us grounded, and that influencers will always lie to you. And today, it's time to call them out on some of those lies. Not only am I going to be showing you several examples of the different types of inconsistencies to look out for and how to spot when an influencer is lying to you, but there's also a portion of this video dedicated to some shocking situations that have happened just within the past few months, where influencers got caught very publicly in some pretty damaging lies. And every example in this video serves to prove that social media is fabricated. It's fake. People lie all the time to portray a false image. And we already know this. It shouldn't come as a surprise, but it's really shocking to be able to catch the influencers in their lies red-handed if you just look closely enough. And this is actually the second video of mine regarding lying influencers. Consider this like a part 2. And the reason I'm able to make a part 2 is because influencers can't stop lying, and there will always be more content to make videos out of. So in saying that, if you come across examples of lying influencers in the wild like the ones you see today, go ahead and send them my way. I'll just start compiling them in a folder for part 3. We really could make a series out of this if we wanted to, so you can find my email in the description box of every video if you want to start sending me some examples. We're gonna start small and work our way up to the big stuff. If I were to give a theme to the first section of this video, it would be small lies, big impact. The first examples I'm gonna show you are not these big bombshell, life-ruining lies, but they're these small, seemingly insignificant things that chip away at the influencer facade. It's like, why even lie about that? What's the point? If you're willing to lie about something that small, what else are you hiding? And in a lot of cases, lying about something that is so easily disproven if you're just paying attention. They're sloppy. It's like they think that viewers aren't going to catch on to the lies, which is why I'm making this video. Because they're not as slick as they think they are, and we're here to call them out on it. By pointing out these inconsistencies, it just reinforces the idea that most of what we see on the internet is fabricated or doctored to some degree, and things are not always what they seem. This is going to be a huge video. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. I've got about 20 examples to show you today, so get comfy. And before we dive into it, I would love to give a moment for today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Some of you may know that my husband was deployed last year, and while he was overseas, he had to sign up for his own subscriptions to our different streaming services because we couldn't share a login now that he wasn't living in the same household. And when he came home, we were living in this excited, blissful bubble that we completely forgot we were still continuing to pay for 2 separate subscriptions every month. But thankfully, Rocket Money was there to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower your bills, and manage your money better. Using the app to identify and cancel those duplicate subscriptions was a breeze. Once you connect to your bank account, Rocket Money identifies all of your subscriptions in one list so you can see it at a glance. And it was like, oh crap, yeah, we have these 2 accounts going that we don't need. And from there, you select the subscriptions that you don't want anymore, and Rocket Money can help you cancel them in just a few taps. The app is also a great tool for creating customized budgets, which has been quite the eye-opener for me, I must admit. It shows you where your money is going at all times, and it identifies your top spending categories to help you budget better. And wouldn't you know it, my top spending category this month so far has been shopping. And when I look back at the list of individual charges to Target, to Ulta, to Lululemon, I'm like, what did I even buy? I feel a little bit called out. Do I really need all this stuff? No. Can I be more mindful about my purchases in the future? Yes, absolutely. And Rocket Money has been a great tool in helping me become more aware of exactly where my money is going and helping me work to spend more intentionally. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Hannah Alonso or click the link in the description box below to get started for free. Thanks again, Rocket Money, for your support of the channel. Getting into the examples, I've got lots of them. Let's start here. This is a pretty big influencer who also has a podcast. She was doing a Q&A style podcast episode where somebody asked her about injectable fillers, and here was her somewhat defensive response to that.
Advice on filler. I would start slow with less, and then you can always build an ad, but it's so much harder to take it away. I have lip filler for reference and some filler in my temples. And I forgot I was going to address this because I saw so many people commenting on one of my TikToks when I said I didn't have cheek filler, and they were like, "You're a liar. You do have cheek filler." No, I don't. You shared that on TikTok. No, I didn't. What I shared was getting temple filler a while ago, but I think what you guys or what whoever was like trying to troll me was confused about was that they do like a cannula, whatever those things are called, where they put it in here and they're going up into the temple here to fill this, but it looks like it's entering around the cheek. Does not make it cheek filler. It's temple filler. But I think people got a little confused on that. So just to set the record straight on that. I don't need any volume in my cheeks. I already have really intense cheeks. I got those from my grandma, R.I.P. Elaine. Thank you. And it is, but like this becomes more hollow here in the temple, which ages you a little bit. So filling that out makes it a little bit better and you look a little bit more youthful, but that's not cheek filler, just to confirm. Sorry, I was blessed with really good cheeks and you're just pissed.
Oh, okay. Throwing a little bit of shade there at the end. Let's run that back one more time for good measure.
You're a liar. You do have cheek filler. No, I don't. You shared that on TikTok. No, I didn't.
Well, unfortunately for her, gaslighting her followers saying that she never got cheek filler and she never posted such a thing on TikTok doesn't work so well when we can dig up the proof with pretty little effort. This podcast episode that this clip was taken from was posted in August of 2024. And here is a TikTok video from the year before in July of 2023. And remember, she has never gotten cheek filler and she has never posted about getting cheek filler.
Always asking if I have cheek filler, and the answer has always been no until yesterday. And I was in there talking to Iris, and we decided to do a little bit of cheek filler. I have really naturally like high and super pronounced cheeks, but one side, this side I think, is like more pronounced than this side, and so it's still really swollen, so don't judge it. She said the swelling should go down tomorrow. It looked so good. Like when she first did it, I was obsessed with it, and then obviously now it's swollen. So stay tuned. I will come back and show you guys when the swelling is down. But she just sort of like rounded everything out because my features are kind of harsh and angular. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, interesting. What is this we found? A TikTok where you talk about getting cheek filler. This is what happens when you're so chronically online, posting multiple TikTok videos a day. She posts 3 times a day, you guys, that you forget what you've posted. You forget what you've said publicly, and it's really hard to keep track of your lies. She created this TikTok video in 2023 offering up the information that she got cheek filler. Nobody asked, nobody cared, like, cool, you got cheek filler? That's great. Good for you, girl. Thanks for sharing. So how can you turn around and sit so confidently and so condescendingly on your podcast saying that you've never had cheek filler and you've never posted about it on TikTok because you don't need cheek filler? You have great genetics from your grandma, and anybody who thinks you've had cheek filler is just jealous.
Sorry, I was blessed with really good cheeks and you're just pissed.
Are you for real right now? I mean, case closed. This is the clearest example of an influencer lie that I could possibly think of. I couldn't ask for anything more when it comes to a perfect exhibit A example of catching an influencer in a senseless lie. And the confusing thing is that she's really open on her social media about having fillers. She posts all the time about going to get different fillers of hers touched up and stuff, and that's great. She's not acting like she's never had fillers at all, but she's particularly defensive about the cheek filler thing, which is so strange. Pretty bold of her to double down and get snarky with her followers for having cheek filler when she was the one to offer up that information in the first place. People aren't just accusing you of this thing, they're saying, hey, no, you posted about this once upon a time. That's why we have the impression that you have cheek filler, okay? We're not just making this shit up. Such a weird, small thing to lie about for what? And with such bold attitude, too. Crazy. Switching gears here a bit, let's talk about lifestyle influencers. Sometimes when I'm watching influencers posting their daily routines, I'm wondering to myself, how is it possible that you're getting that much done in a day? Or in the morning before your kids get up, or in the evening after work, or whatever time they're documenting? And the answer is, there's a great chance they're actually not getting that much done in that specified time frame because they're not being truthful about the times things are taking place. And these lies are really easy to detect in time-stamped videos specifically, where the influencer will claim that it's it's a certain time on the screen, but then if you look around the surroundings of your house, it's clearly not filmed at that time. Whether it's the clocks on the wall, the time on their iPhone, the time on their stove, the time in their car, or whatever it is, if you look closely, you'll notice quite a few discrepancies that kind of dismantle the entire idea that things are happening at these specific times that they want you to believe they're happening. Here is a perfect example of that. See if you can spot the inconsistencies with the time in this clip. This is a video of a creator filming a time-stamped video of her morning routine before she works from home that day. Her caption says, ASMR morning routine with timestamps and get ready with me before my 8 to 5. Let me know what you think of this one. Oh, don't worry, we will. I don't know about you, but I caught several different red flags that lead me to believe that this was not filmed starting at 6:30 a.m. like she's claiming it was. First, you'll see her watch sitting in a dish on her counter, and the timestamp she put on the screen was 6:40 a.m. But if you zoom into the watch, you'll notice that it looks like it's actually about 8:30 a.m. I admit though, this particular screenshot is pretty blurry, so you might not be convinced on that alone. But what if I showed you this screenshot from later in the video when she's making her breakfast and she puts the timestamp of 7:05, but now if you zoom into her watch, it very, very clearly shows 9:05 a.m. This is clear as day to me. That is an unmistakable 9:05. There's no denying it, except for this creator did deny it in the comments. Somebody commented, I always watch your reels. I wonder what time you go to bed and how many hours you devote to sleep. And a different viewer responded saying, I did too, but I noticed her wristwatch showing 9:05 while her timestamp was saying 7:05. I guess that explains it. And then the creator herself responds to this by saying, LMAO, that's funny because my wristwatch doesn't show 9:05. Nice assumption though, with a crying laughing emoji. That is nasty work, okay? She got called out on something that was so completely obvious within her video, and she didn't have to respond to this comment at all, but she did, and she chose to gaslight the viewers by saying, my watch doesn't say 9:05, when anyone who can tell time can clearly see that it does. She took the snarky condescending route, which was a choice given the fact that she is in the wrong and she got caught in a lie. But then I'm thinking, like, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she doesn't know that her watch is off. Maybe she doesn't know that it's set to the wrong time. Maybe she actually was making breakfast at 7:05 like she was claiming, but her watch is lying by saying that it's 9:05. Well, you know what doesn't lie? Sunlight. This creator lives in the Dallas, Texas area, and she posts these videos to Instagram and TikTok every single day. This video was posted on September 10th of 2024, and because she posts every single day, I'm assuming that this was likely filmed the day before, if not the morning of that she posted it. If we refer to our trusty friend timeanddate.com, it tells us that the sun rose at 7:08 a.m. on September 10th in Dallas, Texas, the day she posted this video. Well, if the sun doesn't rise until 7:08 a.m., then why is there full daylight coming through your bathroom window above your shower almost 40 minutes early when you claim that this is happening at 6:30 a.m.? And the answer is, I believe that she's lying about the timestamps on her video. Not only the sunlight gives her away, but her watch as well. These things are not happening at the time that she's claiming they're happening. And I'm really confident in saying that because this video is not the only example. She lies about the time consistently. Her watch really is her biggest enemy here. It's always exposing her if you look really closely. I'm going to show you 6 more more examples that come from 6 different videos posted over the course of several months on her account. In this video, she claims that it's 7:10 a.m., putting on deodorant, getting ready for the day, but when you zoom in on that watch and you flip the image upside down to orient it the right way, to read it the right way, you can clearly see that it says 10:10. Here she is taking off that watch after work, claiming that it's 6:20 p.m., but to me it looks like the 2 watch hands are right on top of each other at 5:25 p.m. This is a different video. She's making breakfast here at supposedly 8:45, but her watch says 10:45. Here's another one of her taking off her watch for the day at 6 p.m., but the watch says 5:25. Another video, she's putting on her watch and getting ready for the day at supposedly 7:20, but the watch looks like it's just after 8. And finally, here she's claiming that it's 7:05 when she's making breakfast, but the watch looks like it's at least 10:05. It's the same watch in all of these videos. She always wears it on her left wrist, and I made sure to flip all of these screenshots and orient them the right way when I'm reading the times. And what's really compelling evidence to me that she's lying about the timestamps is that the time discrepancy is different in almost every single video. So it's not like her watch battery is dead and it's just perpetually stuck at a certain time, or it's always exactly 2 hours ahead or whatever. I showed you 7 different examples from 7 different videos, and sometimes the watch was 40 minutes ahead, 2 hours ahead, 3 hours ahead. Sometimes it was 35 minutes behind, 1 hour behind the time she was claiming. That tells me that the watch probably works just fine. It's her that's misrepresenting the time and lying about it. And the reason this matters and the reason I care is because she's presenting this efficient, seamless, curated, aesthetic, productive, put together lifestyle that might not even be real. Or it might be somewhat real, but it's not happening in the time frame that she wants the viewers to believe it's happening. This creator does have an 8 to 5 job outside of being an influencer. Some days she works from home, but other days she gets up early, she gets herself ready, she commutes to work, just like a lot of her viewers do. And that makes me especially disappointed in her fudging the timestamps, because her viewers that work their own 8 to 5 jobs might measure their own productivity by her videos and therefore feel disappointed in themselves that they struggle to accomplish the same things, that they struggle to wake up that early, that they don't have the time for a full skincare routine and to make their bed and to cook themselves a homemade breakfast and to sit down and enjoy their coffee before work. Videos like this portray this false image of what a realistic morning looks like and how much a person can reasonably accomplish in the morning before they go to work. It's beautiful to watch, it's calming, it's peaceful, everything is so picture perfect, and it's enjoyable content to consume. But the reality is, this is entertainment. This is a woman moving her phone on a tripod to like 30 different locations in her house as she's getting ready for work in the morning. It's performative, and in a lot of cases, things aren't actually happening at the time she's claiming. So many influencers will lie about things like this, but it's not always obvious because they're really careful to keep clocks out of the backgrounds of their videos. But unfortunately, this creator has a favorite watch that she wears all the time, and it constantly gives her away. That's why it's so important to not compare yourself or your own routines to videos like this. Don't beat yourself up because you're not waking up at 6 a.m. and having this dreamy, peaceful morning routine, okay? She's likely not even doing that herself. Here's another similar example regarding lying about the times things are taking place. There's this creator who will make these extremely elaborate, over-the-top lunches for her 9-year-old to take to school. She packs this little girl's lunch like she's about to work a 12-hour shift in the coal mines, okay? I find that in itself to be a bit unbelievable. I personally believe that this is a form of rage bait to make people upset so that they leave angry comments to therefore boost the engagement of her videos. It's my personal belief that I think that she packs all the things into these lunches for the purpose of the video, and then she takes a lot of it out before she sends her kid to school. I believe that she's lying in that sense. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Maybe her 9-year-old does have the appetite of a 40-year-old coal miner. Who knows? What I do know is that she's definitely lying about the time of day that she's packing these lunches. Every video of hers starts off by specifying that she is up cooking and packing these lunches at like 5 or 6 a.m. before she goes to work. This one says, pack my 9-year-old daughter's school lunch with me at 5 a.m. before work, chicken Alfredo edition. There are 2 big red flags in this video that tell me that this is not happening at 5 a.m. See if you can spot them too.
Chicken seasoning, just a little bit of fajita, heavy whipping cream, Italian seasoning, parsley, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese,
Take those. I'm ready.
chicken. This is what her chicken Alfredo looks like for the day.
That looks really good, I can't lie.
Garlic bread. Future Freeze Prime hydration drink. 2 oranges. Slim Jim. Goldfish. Nutella Be Ready. Rice cakes. Meal pie. School note. AirPods. Sanitizer wipes. The keychain of the day.
The first thing I raise an eyebrow at is that supposedly this is taking place at 5 a.m., but there is a TV blaring in the background and you can hear her kids talking. She has 3 kids, a 9-year-old and twin 2-year-olds. I do find it pretty hard to believe that there would be this much noise in your house at 5 in the morning if you've got 3 young kids that are presumably still supposed to be sleeping. I've got an almost 2-year-old at home and she consistently sleeps until 7 at least. The last time she woke up at 5 a.m. was in that dreadful sleepless newborn phase, and I most certainly was not up cooking chicken Alfredo, okay? But I do admit, this is not an impossible scenario. It could totally be true that her kids are just early risers. Some kids are, and that's fine. Just because my kid doesn't wake up at 5 doesn't mean that her kids don't wake up at 5. Maybe they do. It just kind of makes me question things because if she did not put a timestamp on this video, I would subconsciously kind of assume that this was happening in the middle of the day, maybe even when she's trying to make dinner that night, just based on the bustling environment of her house and all the background noise we hear. But I do understand that kids being awake in the background of this video is not a slam dunk to say that this is most definitely not happening at 5 a.m. What is slam dunk evidence is the daylight coming through the window. The daylight never lies. Funny enough, this influencer is also based in Texas, just like the last one we talked about, and this video was posted on February 7th. And she also includes a Valentine's themed note in the lunchbox, which tells us that this is likely taking place in early February at some point. Well, if we take a look at the daylight hours on or about February 7th, where she lives, you'll see that the sun isn't rising until 7:15-ish. Even if she started cooking at 5 a.m., it wouldn't take her 2 whole hours to cook this meal to the point where it would be light outside by the time she's done. My opinion is that she's not cooking these lunches at 5 a.m. I think that's a lie. I think that is rage bait to entice people to comment about how absurd it is to be up cooking full elaborate meals that early in the day for a child that young, and seeing the sunlight through the window is pretty consistent through all of her videos like this one. Here's a video of her making steak and mashed potatoes at supposedly 6 a.m. in December, but you can see through the window it's full daylight outside. Here she's making steak and shrimp fried rice at supposedly 5 a.m. in January. Again, there should not be daylight outside, but there it is. But what's interesting is that she will occasionally post videos like this one.
Carrots on the side. This is what her quick and easy school lunch looks like. Lunchable for snack time. Apple juice. Some pineapple slices dipped in chocolate. Concha, of course. Go-gurt squeeze. Mini Dr. Pepper just because her birthday's next month. Her mini Nutella. Dried strawberry slices. School note. Wet wipes. Her breath mints. Salt and pepper. Her chapstick. Keychain of the day.
You'll notice that this time in this video, there's no background noise in her house at all. Just from an auditory standpoint, it gives the impression that the kids are all sleeping. She's even talking a bit quieter than she usually does, and you can tell that it's dark outside through the window as she's packing the lunch. To me, this is a way more convincing video that this is taking place at 5 a.m. in January. Is it actually? We'll never know. This could be taking place late at night after her kids are in bed. The point is, the daylight is pretty inconsistent in her videos, even though she always claims that it's happening at 5 or 6 a.m. This week you're saying it's 5 a.m. and you're packing a lunch, but it's light outside. Next week you're packing a lunch at 5 a.m., but it's dark outside. What's going on? And the reason I take issue with this, similar to the last example I showed you, is that she's presenting herself a certain way. She's a working mom of twin toddlers and a 9-year-old, and she goes above and beyond every single day to wake up super early, cook something completely from scratch, and send her daughter to school with these amazing, elaborate homemade meals that any kid would be super stoked to have. And in turn, probably making a lot lot of other moms feel bad because they don't feel like this is something they have the capacity or the ability to do for their own children. Like, am I a bad mom that I wake up 30 minutes early and I send my kid to school with a PB&J and a Cuties orange? No, of course not. But this kind of content can make you feel that way. If it's true that she sends homemade lunches to school every day, that is great. I love that for her. I cannot hate on her for that. She's better than me in that sense. I just wish that she would be honest and be more realistic and say, oh yeah, I made this at 7 a.m. instead of 5. Or I made this for dinner the night before and I packed up some of the leftovers to send to school the next day. That is a very realistic thing to do. It's still amazing and impressive and a labor of love to be doing this kind of thing, and you can get some really inspiring meal prep ideas from her page. It's just a shame that she's lying about the time things are taking place. I think that she's lying strategically because it adds shock value and it gives people something to comment about to boost the engagement on her posts. And here's one more example of another influencer lying about the time. This is from a fashion and lifestyle influencer, and it's a video that says, my boyfriend took a video of me leaving the house every day. And it's 4 clips of her wearing different outfits, waving up at her boyfriend, saying goodbye on her way out the door. It's a cute idea for a video, but the lie is that her boyfriend is not filming her every day. This is her phone on a tripod, and these clips were taken on the same day, moments apart. She tries to get away with it, making it look realistic by having some clothes strewn about in the first couple clips, and then they disappear, they get removed in subsequent clips. But the dead giveaways for this, for me, are number 1, the daylight, of course. The lighting doesn't change at all in these clips, which I would find really hard to believe that 4 days in a row, it's the exact same lighting and weather conditions outside. Any content creator will tell you the lighting conditions change hour to hour. That's why you see long form video creators like myself with studio lighting and blackout shades on the window so that the lighting stays consistent as you're filming over the course of several hours. It has already changed significantly. It was raining and now the sun is out, okay? The lighting itself is proof enough for me that she's lying, but if you're still not convinced, the couch creases are another dead giveaway. If these clips were taken over the course of 4 days, you're telling me that you didn't sit on your couch one time in those 4 days? Because the pillows are positioned exactly the same in all of these clips, and I know if you sit down on that couch one time, you would adjust the position of the pillows, they would crease differently. And given the fact that in each of these clips, she's grabbing something off the coffee table, like her computer, her phone, her coffee, it's almost giving the impression like she was sitting on the couch relaxing, now she's getting up, collecting her stuff, and heading out the door. But we know that's not true because the couch remains untouched. And what about these curtains? They're positioned in the exact same spot in all of the clips, not moving an inch. I would assume that most people tend to close their blinds at night when it gets dark, which would mean the curtains would look different in each of these 4 frames because you can't possibly put them back in exactly the same position. And all of those things to me are confirmation that this was taken on the same exact day. Given that she's a fashion and lifestyle influencer, the purpose of this video here was to showcase her different outfits and her style. And this is a really adorable concept for a video that goes beyond the classic like mirror selfie, here's my outfit of the day kind of situation. It's very creative. She just didn't make it that believable. And it is a very small, insignificant thing to lie about in the grand scheme of things. She's a fashion content creator. She created content to show her outfits. She accomplished her goal in that, right? Does it really matter if her boyfriend was taking videos on 4 different days or if it was a tripod on the same day? No. It's harmless enough, but it's one of those little white lies that serves to reinforce the idea that most of what we see on social media is not real. It's all storytelling. It's creative editing. And this video amassed 5 million views and nearly 800 comments of people calling her out for lying on the premise that this was her boyfriend filming her every day. And here is my theory of what happened. She created this video and tried somewhat to make it convincing by adding and removing different props to the scene. I think she really thought she would get away with this, but ultimately things like the daylight, the couch, the curtains, they gave her away and she failed to make it convincing enough, which then resulted in a lot of backlash. And what does backlash result in? More views, more comments, more engagement, which means that in like a backwards kind of way, this actually worked out for her nicely. This video performed exceptionally well, much better than anything she'd posted up to that point. It got 5 million views when she usually gets a couple 100,000. At which point, I think she notices that this was a good strategy and she posts 2 additional videos in a similar structure. I believe that she lied, she got caught, but then she saw that it kind of affected her in a positive way, so she tried to recreate this 2 additional times. If you scroll on her account, you'll find 2 more videos with a similar premise that her boyfriend is recording her leaving for the day or coming home for the day every day of the week. But this time she makes it extremely obvious that it's just her phone on a tripod. Her camera doesn't move an inch. Almost like she's leaning into the fact like, yeah, this isn't real. You caught me. I was lying before, but I saw how many views it brought me, so I'm going to try and recreate it again with a lot less effort to get more views and more engagement. Does this lie harm anybody? No, it's not that big of a deal. It's just frustrating that something something this simple is falsified? How can we believe anything we see on social media if creators feel the need to fabricate something as insignificant as this? This next creator is a huge offender for inconsistencies in her content, and again, these are not earth-shattering lies, but they are especially frustrating considering she presents herself as the most put together, productive, perfectionist, hardest working, best mom on the planet. All of her content is surrounding how she's a mom of 4 boys, and now a mom of 4 boys with 1 on the way. She homeschools, she wakes up at 5 a.m. to work out every single day, no excuses, even when she's pregnant, and she's always posting these videos of herself in front of a whiteboard trying to teach you her secrets on how to be the perfect mom.
Mom to 4 boys with 1 on the way. This is why I stopped dressing like this and started dressing like this, and how it impacted my parenting.
Here's what science says about the power of getting ready, even if you have nowhere to go. It has to do with a scientific finding called enclothed cognition. Scientists found that wearing certain types of clothing actually influences our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Here's how it applies to motherhood in 4 steps. 1. Getting yourself ready for the day creates a boundary between rest and action. When you get dressed in the morning, it signals to your brain that it's time to start the day. Psychologists call this a boundary event, a cue that transitions you from rest mode to a more focused, productive go mode. 2. Getting yourself ready for the day is a mood booster. Studies show that dressing in a way that makes you feel good can increase dopamine levels, a feel-good hormone, which directly improves mood and confidence. Even if you're not leaving the house, your brain picks up on the shift and reacts. 3. Getting yourself ready for the day creates alignment. Studies show that dressing in a way that aligns with the task at hand can impact performance. For example, dressing sloppily might create sloppy performance, while dressing more professionally can create more enhanced and energized performance. And 4. Getting yourself ready can model self-worth for your kids. Children pick up on their parents' habits and attitudes. Modeling the idea that self-care is a priority, which helps you feel better about yourself, is worth the effort to teach your kids to prioritize their own self-worth too. So if you've been stuck in a rut, try getting yourself ready. Comment job to learn more.
This is a pretty good example of how most of her videos are structured, some kind of hack to do better and be better. And this one is all about how if you want to be the best mom you can possibly be, then you got to be dressing in nice clothes every day, and things like sweats or leggings are unacceptable. You're not going to be as productive, functional, or happy if you don't dress up every day. And you know what? I agree to an extent. I spent the first year of my daughter's life changing from one pajama set into another every day. I never got dressed unless I was filming a video or leaving my house, and that did impact my mental health, I would say. Things really did start to shift for me once I started prioritizing 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to like put something on other than pajamas, and for me that usually means leggings. Like, that is dressing up for me. I do see the benefit in taking just a couple minutes at the start of your day to put yourself together, whatever that means for you. Although I don't think that this is something you should feel forced to do every single day if you're gonna be a good mom. But that's kind of the way she's framing it, is it not? At the beginning of the video, she's like, I stopped dressing like this in yoga pants and a sweatshirt or whatever, and now I dress like this in like this beautiful dress that I would wear to somebody's wedding. And she's always dressed really nicely in these scripted, performative, in-feed style videos. But then in her Instagram story posts, where it's more so just snippets of her day in real time, a lot of the time you will see her in these comfy clothes, the kind that she was just demonizing. It feels like she's putting on an act for these videos that she's going to be posting onto her Instagram timeline for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to see. Her videos get so many views. But behind the scenes, she's really just a mom living in leggings like the rest of us. Here's another example of an inconsistency in her content. This is a video where she's getting ready for their family ski vacation, where at one point during the video she says this:
Pack extra coats for the snow and we're good to go. Ryan packs the tablets, which are only allowed on the plane, plus fun snacks.
She's documenting packing for the ski vacation, and she shows her husband packing tablets into a backpack, and she felt the need to point out and specify the kids are only allowed to have tablets on the plane. But earlier in the exact same video, she takes her kids to get a pre-vacation haircut, and you can see her son sitting, getting his hair washed, holding a tablet, watching a show or something. It's just this undertone of judgment and I'm better than you that appears in all of her content that really rubs me the wrong way, especially when it doesn't appear that she's fully truthful. I dress nicely every day for my role as a mother, except I don't. My kids only get tablets on the plane, except they don't. I don't have any screenshot proof of this, so you'll just kind of have to take my word for it, but I've seen her claim in some of of those edited, nice Instagram feed videos that she wakes up every single day at 5 a.m., even when pregnant, and she works out, no excuses. But then there's other posts on places like her Instagram stories where she admits to taking days off because she's pregnant and she's tired and she needs the extra rest, and that's okay. There's just so many of these little cracks in the facade that you can find if you look hard enough. I'm sure some people see her account as inspiring, but I personally find it a bit insufferable because her content leaves you feeling like anything less than absolute perfection isn't acceptable. And there's also no excuses for you to not be perfect. You're not doing enough, you're failing yourself, and you're failing your children if you're not 100% perfect and productive all day long. This mentality is what crushed me in my first year of parenthood, and it's a huge reason why I'm in therapy now. I am actively working to dismantle these perfectionistic ideas and behaviors that have kept me feeling trapped and suffocated for so long. And so to see an influencer popping up on my social media with over 800,000 followers pushing these kinds of perfect mom narratives, it feels really damaging. It feels counterproductive. Not to mention, it seems like she's not always truthful and she embellishes things sometimes for the sake of her videos. You may actually remember this creator from the first video I did about lying influencers. This is the one who claimed that her husband got second place in this fitness competition, but when you look up the results online, it turns out he actually got 32nd place. We know that she's not ashamed to lie in an attempt to make her and her family look good. And it's little things like this that add up over time and they poke holes in that perfectionism that she portrays online. Another huge part of her content, and arguably some of her videos that perform the best, are those where she is hacking Disney World, essentially. How to get the absolute most out of your vacation, the most bang for your buck, do the most things in the least amount of time. And she puts out these videos of her running her family into the ground with these minute by minute planned out Disney days. You see these kids at the end of the video, they are exhausted. Here's what I'm talking about. This is a video that she posted about her day at Magic Kingdom.
This is how to wait in no lines at
Magic Kingdom!
And it starts with an early morning and a mapped out park touring plan. We woke up at 4:45 a.m. with the goal of getting to the park an hour and a half before the stated park opening time. We work out for energy, I braid my hair because of humidity, and get Disney ready for the big day ahead. 6:30 a.m. I get the boys going, then book our first Genie Plus for Jungle Cruise. At 7 a.m. we Uber to Disney's Contemporary Resort using this walkway, which is the fastest way to Magic Kingdom. At 7:30 security opens, and at 7:45 the park officially opens. You're gonna line up at Fantasyland and rope drop Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which opens at 8:15 a.m. Then at 9 a.m. head to Liberty Square and ride Haunted Mansion with no line. Next, ride Big Thunder at 9:30, waiting less than 15 minutes. Then head to Adventureland and ride Pirates of the Caribbean at 10 with a 15-minute line. At 10:55, use your first Genie Plus at Jungle Cruise. Then at 11:15, head to the Enchanted Tiki Room show. Grab floats at Sunshine Tree Terrace, and at noon, ride It's a Small World with no wait. Take the back entrance to Tomorrowland and use your first individual Lightning Lane on Tron at 12:45. Grab burgers at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, then at 2:20 use your second Genie Plus Lightning Lane at Space Mountain. Book a Lightning Lane for Buzz Lightyear, then at 3:30 enjoy Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Take a break with Disney's Railroad, then at 5 see Mickey's Fill Our Magic. Catch the parade and grab a Starbucks, then use a Genie Plus for no line on Under the Sea. We asked and got a special birthday Lightning Lane on Peter Pan. Lightning Lane Winnie the Pooh, and grab table service at 7 at Be Our Guest. Comment Disney and I'll send you my guide.
The inconsistencies I wanted to point out for this clip happen right near the beginning, but I wanted to make you watch the entire thing all the way through to really drive home how insufferable this is. We wake up at 4:45 a.m., we work out for energy, even though we're gonna go to the parks for 12 hours. We drag our kids around the park all day long with no breaks, but stopping periodically to pose for the camera like a big happy family. And you too can have a Disney vacation just like this if you buy my guide. No thanks. This actually looks miserable, but I appreciate the offer. So I live about an hour away from Disney World, and we've been annual pass holders for 4 years now. We're there a couple of times a month, and I can tell you from personal experience right off the bat, this is exhausting and unrealistic. Even if the sequence of events that she's presenting in this video did happen for her, that is not a realistic expectation of what your Disney vacation is going to look like. Most of it has to do with crowd sizes, which are completely out of your control. This is realistic if you go in the middle of a week during a non-peak season. This is not realistic most days of the year. And the purpose of her posting these kinds of videos is because she wants to promote her course. She wants you to pay her so that she can teach you all these hacks. But there's two things that happen right at the start of this video, right off the bat, that make me discredit her strategies. The first thing is that she said that they booked their first Genie Plus for Jungle Cruise at 6:30 a.m. But if you've ever used the Genie Plus system, which is actually not called Genie Plus anymore, it's now something slightly different called Lightning Lane Multipass, but whatever, you would know that in either case, you cannot book your first rides until 7 a.m. The ride selections for this system at that time were locked until 7 a.m. Eastern time. So her saying that she booked them at 6:30 and then they're on their way out the door to catch their Uber by 7, that's a lie. And the second lie comes in when she says that they Ubered to the Contemporary Resort as a hack to gain access to the quickest walkway to Magic Kingdom. The thing is though, for all the Disney resorts, there are these gates that you have to go through where you pull up and talk to an attendant. I know this to be true based on personal experience. You pull up, they ask you your name, they look up your reservation in their system, and they only open the gate for you and let you in if you're a guest staying at that resort or if you have a dining reservation for one of the on-property restaurants. There were multiple people in the comments of this video pointing that out, saying that they tried this hack and it didn't work. This person said, "I stopped watching as soon as you talked about Ubering to the Contemporary. You forgot to mention the shame of being turned away at the gate due to not having a reservation and causing a traffic jam trying to unload at the entrance." Perhaps this hack worked for her family on this one particular day because the security attendant working the booth felt nice and let them through, but this is not sound advice to be giving the masses about how to get to Magic Kingdom the fastest. And the issue here again is that she sells a PDF guide on how to hack Disney. She's trying to make money selling these kinds of secrets to people, but there were two inconsistencies right in the beginning of this video alone. So I don't know how much I would really trust her guide or the timeline of anything else in this video for that matter. We're really just taking her word for it that her family did in fact get on all these rides at these specific times, but as we know, influencers lie about their timelines all the time, but it's hard to take her word for it when there were two verified things in this video that are inconsistent or just poor advice. Just another example of how she presents herself as the most perfectionistic, productive person on the internet, but there are clear cracks in her facade. And the last really quick example for this section on small lies comes from the fitness community. Remember in my last video about lying influencers, there was that fitness coach that was showing us his 5 a.m. morning routine, and it consisted of like getting in the sauna, grounding outside barefoot, a cold shower, journaling, whatever. And all this is supposed to be happening at 5 a.m., but it's full daylight outside again. Well, here's another lie of his. He's an online fitness coach and people pay him hundreds of dollars a month to get access to his workout plans and his nutrition guides and whatever. Well, he's got an Instagram page dedicated to his coaching business, and interestingly enough, he's been caught lying about the results of the clients doing his programs. Here's one post that says, "Week 1 to week 20, down 35 pounds. Me and the team wanted to give a special mention to our amazing client Heather, who has completed a 12-week program," showing her two photos side by side. Take a good look at these photos, okay? And then take a look at this second post from his coaching account. Look familiar? Except for this time, the caption says that these two photos are coming from one of his clients named Charlotte, who was one of their coaching community's competition winners, and she achieved these results in just 8 weeks. So which one is it, coach? Are these Heather's 20-week results or are these Charlotte's 8-week results? We'll never know because he suspiciously deleted both of these posts once he got called out on it. He can't keep his lies straight and be careful enough to not post the same photos twice with 2 different names and 2 different testimonies. Is anything real on this guy's page? Are any of these testimonies truthful? That's what I'd like to know. He's been known to not only fake his own daily routines, but now fake the testimonies of his clients as well. All I know is that I wouldn't trust him with my health in a million years, or any fitness influencer on the internet really, because it's all so easy to fake. It's impossible to know who's telling the truth, if anyone's telling the truth. So that concludes the example of smaller lies. Let's shift gears into shady product promotions and untruthful sponsorships. Here's a classic example of catching an influencer in a lie due to sloppy editing. That's the thing, there's so much lying that goes on behind the scenes, but a lot of the times the viewers can't catch it because it's edited out. The creator's done such a good job with their editing to conceal their lies, so the viewer will never know about it. But there are some cases where they miss stuff. This is beauty influencer Michaela Noguera, 16 million followers. You know her, you love her, you hate her, you love to hate her. And in 2023, we witnessed what is called Lashgate, where Michaela was reviewing a L'Oreal mascara, but she was accused of wearing false eyelashes in the review. She comes on camera, one eye is already done, claiming that it's all thanks to the mascara. Then she applies the mascara to the second eye, but you can tell like the results aren't as great as the first eye. And then it jump cuts, boom, both eyes look great, amazing, voluminous, long lashes, and viewers speculated that it's because she was wearing fake lashes. She got dragged for this a couple years ago and lost a lot of credibility, but just a few months ago, we've got a repeat offense, Lashgate 2.0 as people are calling it. See if you can catch this lie, it's very quick.
Okay, this is the new Essence Call Me Queen mascara. Curl the lashes. It has this really flexible wand. Supposed to give a nice flared effect. Okay, that before and after, it's pretty freaking good. That's 2 coats. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll add a third. I like how the wand is smaller because I can really get into each individual hair. Okay, third coat just to see. Such a beautiful mascara.
The focus of this section of her video is all about the Essence mascara, which as you can see has a purple tube and a black wand, which she does start out using. But then you see in this jump cut right here, she appears to go from using the Essence mascara with the black wand to a different mascara with a hot pink wand. And it's only on the screen for a second and then she switches back to the black wand. It appears to me that the pink wand she's holding is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Firework mascara, not the Essence mascara, obviously. She was immediately called on this and her first line of defense was just to delete the comments as they were coming in, but then there were too many, she couldn't keep a handle on it, and she did end up eventually addressing this in her private Instagram broadcast channel. Broadcast channels are somewhat new, so if you're not familiar, this is like a private group on Instagram that creators can invite their followers into, where the creator can send messages to the followers, but the followers can't respond with their own messages, they can only react to the creator's messages with emojis. It's like a one-way group chat essentially. So she didn't make a public post about this, she only addressed it in her Instagram broadcast channel that only has 100,000 members, which only 100,000 seems like a crazy thing to say, but compared to her 16 million followers on TikTok, this is a very small percentage of people that actually saw this message from her. And here's her very interesting explanation. It says, just to clarify what I'm seeing about Lashgate 2.0, LOL, I did a review of the Essence mascara, totally organic by the way, purchased it myself, not an ad. In the video, I'm seen holding a Maybelline mascara when I'm doing my eyes, and that's because I use that Maybelline mascara on my bottom lashes. The question then is, well, the bottom lashes aren't done when the clip of the mascara plays. That clip was right when I'm about to do the bottom lashes. I apply lip liner first and then did them. Now, this is totally being blown into Lashgate 2.0, which I understand. I'm under the microscope. It's my own fault for not realizing when I was filming and that it would be confusing. To be fair, it's not uncommon to use 2 different mascaras for your top and bottom lashes. I do the exact same thing. However, the purpose of this video is to review the Essence mascara. There shouldn't be any other mascaras in the vicinity, okay? This isn't about them. We're not talking about them. You want to show the performance of the Essence mascara on both your top and bottom lashes, preferably. And the second issue with this is that even her explanation appears to be a lie. She got caught and she's just digging herself deeper. She said that she used the pink Maybelline mascara on her bottom lashes and quote, that clip with the pink mascara was right when I'm about to do the bottom lashes. Okay, well, roll the tapes. She's not holding the pink mascara because she's about to do her bottom lashes. And we know that to be a lie because she does the first eye with the Essence black mascara. Then you see her switch to holding this pink mascara for seemingly no reason. Then the pink mascara disappears, her face remains unchanged, and she goes in to do the second top lashes with the Essence mascara again, all while her bottom lashes remain undone. You don't see her bottom lashes done until later in the video when she's talking about lip products. This explanation just doesn't make sense. There's no reason for you to be holding a Maybelline mascara at that point in the video. You wouldn't do the first eye with Essence and then switch to holding the Maybelline mascara but not using it, and then set that down and pick up the Essence one again to do the second eye. It makes no sense. She lied, she got caught, but rather than owning up to it, she's digging herself deeper, covering a lie with a lie. And that's a huge issue when you consider that she makes a living off of product reviews and off of brand deals and off of recommending things to people. She's a saleswoman. Her job is to convince you to buy things. That's how she makes money. But how can you trust her reviews if she's been caught multiple times lying over the years about her product reviews? And on that note, here's a similar example of a different creator promoting hair products. Her video says, I wish I had your hair, you're so lucky. And she says, it's not my hair, it's my products. And she shows a photo of herself that she's labeling as taken 2 years ago. Let me put you on to these products so that you can try them too. And what she's trying to sell you is Monate hair care. This is from a multi-level marketing company. She's one of those MLM boss babes trying to recruit you into Monat so she can make money off of you. If you have no idea what I'm talking about regarding that, check out my anti-MLM playlist on my channel. I have over 200 videos explaining all the problems with MLMs. But she's got over 100,000 followers on Instagram, which is really significant, and most of what she posts have to do with trying to sell you Monat hair care. And what's so funny about videos like this where they show pictures of their before results is that they're so easy to debunk if you just scroll back on their account 2 years to see what their hair actually looked like at the time. She's making it seem like her hair 2 years ago was shorter, it was damaged looking, it wasn't as voluminous, and now today she has great hair. And don't get me wrong, her hair is incredible these days. It's beautiful, she has amazing hair, there's no denying that, but it doesn't appear that Monat products can take full credit for her great hair the way she's trying to make it seem. This video was posted in the fall of 2024 and it's claiming that this is what her hair looked like 2 years ago. Well, okay, if we scroll back 2 years ago, the fall of 2022, these are the types of videos she was posting at the time. She has amazing hair now, she had amazing hair then. Her hair pretty much looks the same in 2024 as it did back in 2022. If we take it even farther back to 2020, a couple years before she was ever involved with Monat, you can see that her hair has always been fantastic. This before picture that she's using is not an accurate representation of what her hair used to look like once upon a time before Monat. I don't know where she got this picture from. It almost looks like a cropped out version of a picture that somebody else took, maybe at like a function of some kind. Like, I don't know, I'm imagining the rest of this photo, she's standing within a group of people. Like, hey, gather in for a photo. She candidly pops in there. Her hair just is what it is in that moment. It's not super styled. Most of it is falling behind her shoulders. It's not a fair picture to use for comparison. And we know for a fact that she's always had great hair, likely due to genetics, not Monat. But it's presented in such a way to make you think that it is all thanks to Monat because she has that financial incentive to get you to buy it from her. Influencers will get very crafty with their sales pitches. That's the nice way of saying they're gonna lie to you in order to convince you to buy whatever it is they're selling. Here's another example of these kinds of inconsistencies. Here's an influencer that was taking sponsorships from Google to promote the Google Pixel phone virtually all of 2024. She had like 5 or 6 sponsorships from them throughout the year, and here's what her ads would look like.
These are my 3 favorite life hacks to getting the best photos at a music festival. Thanks so much to Google Pixel for sponsoring this video. The first tip that I love to do is using my ultra wide lens on my Google Pixel just because I feel like it documents the whole festival and what's actually going on. My second tip would be to take a ton of different photos and then use the best take feature. I love this feature because when I'm taking group photos or I'm in the sunlight and I accidentally have my eyes closed, I can literally take the best photo of my face and put it on the photo where my body and or the lighting looks the best. It is a game changer. And the third tip would be to use the AI powered feature Magic Eraser. Guys, this literally has changed my life, especially in festival pics when there's so many things and people in the background you want to remove. This feature makes it so easy.
Very clearly acting in these sponsorship videos as if this was her phone, calling it her phone, telling you how she loves to use it, showing you all the different features of it. Except for when you go and watch her non-sponsored content on social media, the Google Pixel is nowhere to be found and she very clearly owns and uses an iPhone. These clips of her with an iPhone were posted within days or weeks of her Google Pixel ads. Like, she'll post a Google Pixel ad on Monday and then by Friday she's posting a non-sponsored video using her iPhone. Same goes with all of her mirror selfies too. All of them are taken with an iPhone, no Google Pixel phone in sight. The only time you see her using a Google Pixel phone is when she's filming and posting an ad. And what is so unfortunate and is ruining influencer marketing, in my opinion, is when influencers take sponsorships for the cash grab and so obviously don't actually like or use the product that they're promoting. That's the quickest way to lose trust with your followers, and that kind of behavior ruins it for everybody else. It damages influencer credibility as a whole. I can't sit here and tell you that all influencers are sellouts and that they lie in every sponsorship and that they don't actually use the products they're promoting, because I know that's not true. There are creators out there who know that the trust with their viewers is invaluable, and they're committed to only taking on certain sponsorships that they truly believe in to keep that trust intact. You can tell when someone doesn't actually use the product they're talking about. Personally, I make it a huge goal of mine to only take sponsorships that I truly love and truly believe in and actually use myself. I turn down like 95% of the sponsorship inquiries I receive, and if you don't believe me, just ask my management team, because most of my emails back to them are just me saying, no thanks, that's not a product I would actually use, so I'm not going to promote it, or I tried it and I didn't like it, I can't in good faith recommend it. But you know what? There's always going to be somebody out there who watches my sponsorships and immediately assumes that I don't actually use that product, that I'm just lying for the money, because creators like this ruin it for everybody else. Some influencers so obviously blatantly lie in their sponsorships, and it is deeply frustrating. Not just for other creators, but especially for viewers. How infuriating frustrating to have to try and decipher, like, are they actually using this product? Do they actually like that? Or are they just telling me that because they got paid? How frustrating to order the shampoo but not get good results because the creator who sold it to you fudged their before and after pictures. How annoying to be watching a mascara product review but the influencer secretly uses a different mascara to get those results. It's maddening. Everywhere you turn, someone's lying about something, so it makes it really hard to trust anything that influencers post, and that's really unfortunate. At least with the examples that I've shown you so far, you know that it's an ad. You know that you're being sold to, and it's your job to decipher whether or not you believe the creator, essentially. But then there's other times when influencers will feature certain products in their content, but they're not disclosing to the viewer that it's actually a paid advertisement. They're lying by omission, basically. And the biggest offender of this are those creators who do Bloom advertisements. Bloom is like a superfoods green powder supplement thingy. And last year, Kiki Chanel on YouTube did a great deep dive video diving into the whole Bloom situation and how there's all these influencers out there discreetly posting about Bloom in their normal content, but breaking FTC rules by not letting the viewer know that it's a paid advertisement. It's like a product placement pitch type thing. I'll link that video below. Kylie did a great job with it. But here's a more recent example of one influencer in particular who doesn't always disclose her ads. See if you can figure out which brand this is an advertisement for. It's really tough. The video is called Mini Skincare Fridge Restock. Just when you think it's over, it keeps going. Obviously a CeraVe ad, right? You don't need me to explain that to you. But the problem here is that it appears to be an undisclosed advertisement. Her caption on this video just says, "Restock my skincare fridge with me." No mention whatsoever that she's affiliated with CeraVe or being paid by CeraVe, no hashtag ad, nothing. Same thing going on in this video too, except for this time she's claiming to restock her teenager's bathroom, and it's just like 30 CeraVe products shoved on a shelf and into organizers under the sink. Once again, no mention of this being an advertisement anywhere in the video or in the caption. But CeraVe themselves, they comment saying, "Loved every second of this video. It just kept getting better and better." Yeah, I bet you loved it. It was an entire video dedicated to your company's products, and they didn't even indicate that it was an ad. And of course, it is just my speculation personally that these are undisclosed ads. This creator's content is primarily rage bait, and you know that it's rage bait because of how absurd everything is. Calling this a mini skincare fridge restock when she jam packs more CeraVe into a full-size fridge than anybody could ever possibly use in their entire lifetime. Claiming that she's restocking her teenager's bathroom with only CeraVe and nothing else. It's obviously not real, but the purpose is to evoke an angry reaction out of people who don't know that it's not real. And because she pretty much only posts rage bait, I suppose there is a chance that she went and bought all this CeraVe herself, wrote that off as a business expense, and then used it in these videos just for the shock value, because that's how her videos get views. However, I found a video where she did disclose that this was a CeraVe advertisement, and she calls it weekly bathroom restock, which again, obviously rage bait. This is not a weekly restock. Nobody is restocking this many products on a weekly basis. And here she is in the exact same bathroom we saw in the last video, restocking the exact same products she featured before into the exact same organizers under the sink. But this time she has the added touches of a CeraVe shower curtain and bath mats. And she does have hashtag ad on the screen of the video, and her caption says, "Can you guess my favorite skincare brand?" Tagging CeraVe and saying hashtag CeraVe partner, hashtag ad. This is a properly disclosed advertisement. This communicates very clearly that this person was paid by the brand to create this video. So to me, this demonstrates that she has a relationship with CeraVe and that she knows how to properly disclose an ad, but she might not be doing that with every video. And that's a problem, because let's say you come across this video of her skincare fridge in the wild like I did, you have no way of knowing if this is an advertisement or not because she doesn't disclose it anywhere on this video specifically, even though she is sponsored by CeraVe and does have other sponsored videos videos on her platform. To me, that's deceptive marketing, that's lying by omission. The viewer deserves to know when the creator's been paid to promote something, but unfortunately that does not always happen. Up until this point in the video, we've done a lot of heavy lifting to seek out these lies and to put the pieces together for ourselves to expose them. A lot of these examples were very, very small, they were quick, and they'd be hard for the average viewer to catch. But recently, there have been so many insane examples of influencers getting caught in these gigantic, super problematic lies where they were called out very publicly. So embarrassing for them. The first literally newsworthy example of this is from Marlena Velez. She's a stay-at-home mom lifestyle influencer on TikTok with almost 500,000 followers. Everything is neutral and aesthetic and beautiful. It's things like her getting ready for the day, making her coffee, unboxing her PR packages, going shopping, whatever. Very idyllic, calming, serene content, looking like she's living the perfect life. And I don't usually address influencers by name in videos like this because I'm not looking to put them on blast specifically and send a whole bunch of angry people and hate their way. I don't condone that. Please don't do that. So you might be wondering why I'm telling you Marlena's full name, and that's because she recently got arrested and her name was all over the news. Why did she get arrested, you may ask? Oh, she was just caught shoplifting from Target while filming one of her day in the life TikTok videos. She posted this TikTok video of her getting dressed, getting ready for the day, going to Target, picking up a bunch of new items. You can see her loading them up into her car and taking them home. But not too long afterwards, the Cape Coral, Florida Police Department released these Target surveillance photos of a woman stealing in hopes to identify her. And somebody who recognized Marlena anonymously reported her and her social media usernames to the police. The hero we all needed. Thank you for your service, anonymous tipster. The police department said that they were able to positively identify Marlena by just going to her TikTok and seeing that she posted a video of herself at Target on the same day of the offense. Same outfit, hairstyle, and glasses as seen on the surveillance footage, and she was eventually arrested for shoplifting. The Cape Coral Police Department said that she stole 16 items for a value over $500 by using the self-checkout and scanning false barcodes for cheaper items. So for example, she could have bought a $25 water bottle by just scanning a $2 avocado instead or something. She's still standing at self-checkout, going through the motions, scanning things, putting them into her bag, but she's cheating the system. The value of those items that she's actually paying for are not equivalent to the items that she's walking out of the store with. This incident took place on October 30th, and she was released on a $150 bail and set to appear in court on December 10th. But that's not even the craziest part, you guys. Are you ready for this? Before she was able to appear in court, she was arrested again, a second time, for stealing from the same Target less than a month later. Here she is, just 3 weeks after the first stealing incident, now caught on camera doing the exact same thing. This video shows you exactly how she does it. Let me slow it down for you. She's holding a bunch of baby clothes in her left hand, and then in her right hand she has one single barcode that she's scanning multiple times, acting as if she's paying for all of these clothes. Then she scans a couple rolls of ribbon, because those are pretty cheap, but then that Christmas tree decoration in her left hand, that never gets scanned. She just dumps it right into the bag along with the ribbon. And then you see her taking a big handful of clothing and just bypassing the scanner altogether and stuffing it into the bag too. She's paying for some things, but she's not paying for everything. This second shoplifting incident occurred on November 20th, and she was arrested at her home on November 30th. Her only public response to being arrested was this video she posted where she's mouthing the words of that Kourtney Kardashian audio where she's saying, "I just don't have the energy for this. I am unsubscribing from this drama." Girl, what drama? This isn't drama. This is a crime. She posted this video at the end of November with the comments turned off and then pretty much didn't post again until late December, where it is just right back to regularly scheduled programming. She's moving right along as if nothing happened. No apparent remorse, not addressing it. She's just gonna keep on keeping on and hope that people forget and move past it. This is a very public and extreme example of an influencer getting caught in a lie, to the point that it made news headlines because it's literally a crime. And it speaks to the rat race that is influencing, right? Always gotta have what's new and trendy, constantly shopping, always sharing new links, striving to portray this perfect idyllic lifestyle. But these incidents expose that there's always more to the story, and in some cases that might mean lying, stealing, and cheating your way to social media fame by faking the lifestyle you want your viewers to believe you have. I am stunned that she was bold enough to go back to the same exact Target and steal a second time after already having been arrested. That tells me there's no shame, no remorse, no moral compass keeping this woman on track. She's gonna do what she thinks she has to do to stay relevant in the scheme of influencing and keep up her social media facade, and that's truly devastating when you think about it. Sometimes influencers get themselves in too deep, getting attention and views for living a certain way, and they feel the need need to keep upping the ante to keep their viewers engaged and to stay relevant, to the point where you feel the need to steal hundreds of dollars in merchandise from Target just to give your viewers the impression that you went on a shopping spree as part of your daily routine for your TikTok video. And speaking of always trying to outdo yourself, there couldn't be a more perfect segue into this next lying example. There was some hot TikTok drama around the holidays from an influencer best known for her content surrounding the fact that she is a University of Alabama sorority girl with rich parents, basically. A big cornerstone of her content, and the reason I believe over 1 million people follow her is because they want a sneak peek into the life of a rich, beautiful college girl. And this becomes relevant come Christmas time, when the hot thing for influencers to do is to post their Christmas hauls, where they're showing off to their viewers everything they got for Christmas. And this can kind of be fun from a viewer perspective, or sickening depending on how you look at it, because you're watching these rich influencers with more money than you can ever imagine showing off thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And it is so absurd and so over the top and out of touch with reality that you just can't help but watch it with your jaw on the floor. You cannot look away from it, because you go into it knowing that these influencers are loaded, and it's a sick desire to know what they got for Christmas because you know it's about to be insane, like worse than you could ever possibly imagine. So this particular influencer uploads her Christmas haul to TikTok. It's 5 minutes long and it's baffling. Let's watch it.
Hey y'all, Merry Christmas. I hope you've had a great Christmas. Not just a good Christmas, but I'm going to give you a Christmas haul because I posted a video asking if y'all wanted one, and y'all did. So the first thing I got was, because I bought this bag, and I'm really into bag charms, so I got 2 of the Louis Vuitton like bag chains to switch up my bag. Love these. And then we got some cowboy boots. Love those. Another pair of cowboy boots. I got this retro feet top that I have had my eye on for the longest time with the retro feet mini shorts. Love her. This is one of my favorites. I got this Zara skirt and top set. It's like super cute and sparkly. I do not know what I'm going to wear for New Year's, but this is definitely in the subject of conversation. And then I got this Zara set with the top. We also got the red shiny aloe leggings, aloe sweatshirt, aloe sweatpants, this little cute, actually, aloe, like, cardigan. I love, like, the fit of it. I think it's so cute. That just fell. And then my sister got this addicted thing, but with my boob job, we all agreed that it would look better on me now. So, she gave it to me. An aloe little tank top, a garage mini dress for like Bama games. Ooh, now we're into my favorites.
Oh, okay, never mind the 15 things she just flashed to the camera and then tossed on the ground. Now we're getting into her favorites. In case you were wondering, I did the math for you. She just featured $3,500 worth of clothes, shoes, and accessories, and then she tossed them to the side like they were nothing. This is more money than some families' entire Christmas budget, and we haven't even gotten to the most expensive things yet.
Free People sweatshirt. I think it's so cutie with the matching Free People shorts. And then I got these Free People Active shorts with the matching sweatshirt that goes with it. I think it's super cute. A lot of just cutie tank tops and pajama sets. Loved those. I thought that this little flowery one was so cute because I wear that a lot with the matching sweater to go over it, so I'm excited.
It's just
for that.
so much stuff. So much stuff.
There's just more cutie tank tops with little pajama sets are like my favorite thing to wear around the house, so my mom got me a lot of them. Then I got this Free People little dress for country concerts, anything like that. A Free People Active little tanker topper. These are definitely, sorry.
Now we're getting into the expensive stuff.
Not cute anymore. But y'all, this was my favorite gift. The Chanel tennis shoes. I mean, come on. And then my second favorite gift was, well, I mean, not tennis shoes, heels. I am obsessed with them. I will wear them all the time. Y'all know I love a kitten heel. So that was like the top of my list. So I was literally screaming, jumping up and down whenever I got them. And then the next thing we got, now, when I opened this, I was a bit shocked. And I am super grateful for it. I love it. Because I asked for the tweed one. But my mom was like, Kylan, you're not going to be able to wear the tweed all year round. So she got, it's like straw one from Chanel. Adorable. Love her. I can't wait to wear her all year round. And then the next thing we got was my very first big girl bag to go with my big girl boobs. Love her. And we also got, yes, I know. Then we got these two Van Cleef necklaces that I am absolutely obsessed with. I'm trying to clear everything. Podcast equipment, like the whole like podcast thing. So I am so excited for that. I thought that this one was really cute, the little Chanel bag / belt, because whenever I go to like football games or concerts, you can't like have like that size, like a big size bag, so I thought that this was really cute to like hold a lip gloss in. But yeah, that was the Christmas. I hope y'all had the best Christmas ever, and I love you all so much. Have a great day, not just a good day. Bye.
I kept thinking it was going to end, and it just didn't. There was just more and more and more stuff. I like the dollar signs, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's all I'm thinking as I'm watching this. Here's the most notable section of this video where we kind of start to suspect that there might be some lying going on, so let's replay it on the screen here. She just flashed 2 pairs of Chanel shoes, 2 Chanel handbags, and 1 Dior handbag at the screen, totaling approximately $30,000 combined. But watch how fast she's holding them up to the screen and then quickly setting them on the ground. Particularly these 2 handbags, flashing them at the camera, keeping them constantly moving, not really showing them up close or giving that much detail, not giving any commentary about them like she did with all the other stuff in the video, and they're on the screen for a matter of a couple seconds before she tosses them to the side. And notice that as well, these are designer items and she's handling them like trash. That's a $10,000 handbag, and she just haphazardly put it back in the box, smashed the lid on the strap, and set it on the ground. This handbag is $11,700, and she shows it on the screen for less than a second. That in itself is very fishy to me. If somebody gifted me the most classic, timeless, iconic Chanel handbag worth over $11,000, I would be taking my sweet time showing that thing to the camera, you know? Either this behavior is coming from a sense of entitlement, where she doesn't cherish her expensive belongings because they've lost value in her eyes, or she knows that they're not real designer, so she's not showing these the same level of care that she would if they were real. Her behavior towards the end of this Christmas haul video, where she's showing the designer items specifically, is very, very strange, and viewers started to pick up on it. The first big red flag was this Chanel bag. As I said, this is the most classic, iconic style of handbag that Chanel offers, and even I raised an eyebrow when I saw the one in her video because it didn't look quite right. I don't own that handbag, but I know it doesn't look like that. You'll notice that the piping on the edge of the bag is really dainty and thin on the real Chanel bag from the website, but the one this influencer is holding is super thick and chunky. Also, the shapes of the bags are noticeably different. The structure of the bag that she's holding looks sloppier, like it's fatter at the bottom than it is at the top. The bottom corners are angled outwards. It just looks fake, simple as that. Same with the Dior bag too. You'll notice that the bag she's holding is way shinier, it's more metallic looking. The real bag on the left looks quilted, while the bag that she's holding on the right looks pointy, almost like it's a studded pattern, not a quilted one. There's some pretty obvious inconsistencies in these designer items, and things are becoming a little fishy, to the point that other creators on TikTok who know a thing or two about designer items decided to make their own videos pointing out why they believe hers were fake in her Christmas haul.
Chanel shoes come in a box that's kind of like textured like this. They're not matte, and they don't open up the way that she opened the box. They are this kind of box, lid kind of thing. And then with the Chanel shoes, because those shoes are not in-season shoes, they're more like collector's items. I collect designer Chanel shoes that are not in season because it's my favorite thing to do. I have these, and notice how older Chanel shoes are, a lot of them are wooded like this. So there's pair number 1. This is pair number 2, again, wooded as pair number 3 of Chanel shoes, wooded as and then also the writing on the Chanel shoes were a little funky. See how like the Chanel feels very real and it's leather and it's imprinted like that. That was giveaway number 2. These Chanel shoes as well. This is imprinted. And then I have another pair of Chanel shoes right here, and that is imprinted in there. Her shoes, it looked like the Chanel name was literally printed on, not imprinted. So that was giveaway on why their Rich Girl Christmas haul was all DHgate.
This creator just mentioned DHgate, which if you're not familiar with that, it's an online Chinese marketplace where you can buy all kinds of things, but particularly you can find replicas of popular designer items. And lo and behold, a lot of the items that she featured in her Christmas haul can also be found on DHgate for significantly reduced prices. That Chanel purse is $92 instead of $11,000, for example. But until this point, it's all speculation that these designer items are fake and that they were maybe purchased from a website like DHgate. And then she tried to pass them off as real in her Christmas haul video. That very well may have been the end of it, and it would have kind of faded out as all things on the internet do, except for the influencer made this TikTok video in response to the accusations that she was featuring fake items.
Like, I don't even know what to say because I don't really owe y'all an explanation, but like, I thought that everybody knew that like people buy like some of my stuff that's designer is real and some of it's fake. I thought that was like an everybody thing. Like,
oh my god,
I didn't know that would be that big of an issue. Like, I have real and I have fake. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess I didn't know that this was gonna blow up the world. Like, just because my mom handed us some, like, we got some real things, we got some fake things. I thought that was normal, and I didn't mean to offend anybody. I've seen so many people that like are like uber rich be like, oh, I don't care if it's real or fake, like who cares? Like, that's why I didn't think it would be a problem to post it, and I did not know that it would break the internet like this. Like, I have went into Gucci, I have bought designer bags, I have experienced it, but I have also had a fake one too. Like, I thought that was an everybody thing, but I guess not. It's just making it really hard to go on social media these days, because whatever you do, people are going to tear you down. I hope y'all's day is going better than mine, and I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm just going to laugh it away and just move on and keep doing my thing. But don't believe everything that you see on the internet. And I promise there are a lot of rich people and influencers on here that have real and fake. And I just thought that was common sense, but I guess not.
Damage control. That's what this is. Condescending, nasty damage control. This is someone who's been caught in a pretty massive lie, the kind that shatters the entire illusion that her content was built on, that she comes from money and she wears all designer. Let's make one thing clear, that she absolutely posted this Christmas haul with the intention of everybody believing that everything she showed was real. She wouldn't be making this video confirming that things were fake unless she got caught red-handed. And her best attempt at addressing the situation is to blame the viewers for just not understanding that of course they were fake. I thought you knew that. You should have known that. No, why would we assume that they're fake? You have given us the impression through all of your content that you come from money and that these are the kinds of things your parents can afford. Don't try to flip it back on us. You're in the wrong. You deceived people. You lied. You got caught. And this video did not go over very well with her followers. She eventually deleted it, but everyone can see that this is a really bad look. And that's not even where the story ends. Just a few days later, in the aftermath of this very embarrassing lying situation, she posts yet another TikTok called Christmas Haul Part 2. This is her and her younger sister, who is a minor and in high school, so I'm going to be blurring her face for privacy reasons. But the younger sister actually posted her own Christmas haul as well, showing different designer items that she was also trying to pass off as real. They got together to film this video and they posted it just 3 days after Christmas.
Hey y'all, I hope you're having a great day, not just a good day. And today is the official best day ever, because I love the internet, and no matter what happens on the internet, I swear it will always come out great unless you do something diabolically
So we would
insane.
like to thank you guys for saying that everything we owned was fake. Because our mommies and daddies felt so bad, they bought us everything real.
Yeah, so this is like a part 2 of the Christmas haul. Not only did I get new booze for Christmas,
And I got a new nose.
but we got from Forward. We're gonna have to share receipts now because y'all, we don't want to make you mad or make you think that we've got fake, we've got real, but here is from Forward, which is a site where you can buy like secondhand designer or just items that people didn't like and you can resell them. Here is the receipt on the phone. I would never, ever in real life share receipt, but y'all know on the internet, y'all have trolled us and slapped us so hard that we're at the point where we have to. So, let's get into the haul.
If you take a closer look at this receipt, you'll see that there are 3 separate orders placed for 5 different handbags totaling $17,551.48. Absolutely nauseating. Genuinely. And the remainder of this video is them unboxing their real secondhand designer handbags, acting 100 times more excited this time around than they did for the original Christmas haul, really taking time to show them up close, all the details, all the tags to show that they're real, and also handling the bags with a lot more care this time around. All of that in combination is proof enough to me that they knew at the time of filming the original video that they weren't designer. The way they acted towards it, the way they handled the items, they knew that they were fake, but they weren't gonna let their followers know they were fake. And this kind of response with the Christmas haul part 2 is obviously very frustrating because there are no lessons being learned here. There's no remorse, there's no I'm sorry I lied, there's no ownership over their wrongdoings. I just see 2 young entitled girls whose parents decided to buy $17,000 worth of designer handbags for them rather than letting them sit with their well-deserved shame. They believed they could pull a fast one and that they would never be caught and they'd never have to own up to their lies. But unfortunately for them, this is a huge lie that calls into question all of their content, really. That rich girl image that you've built your entire online persona on has now been destroyed. How do you come back from that? How do we know if anything you post is real now? It's one of those things that is deeply embarrassing for them and really hard to come back from. Which leads me to my next big example of a lying influencer in which it was pretty much over before it began. And this is regarding Microbakery Girl. There are endless deep dive style videos on YouTube right now about this situation. If you want to dig into it in more detail, I can link some of those videos below for you, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just give you the quick rundown. There's been some drama brewing in the sourdough community, if you can believe it. There's a woman named Jess, and she started this Instagram account called Microbakery Girl. And this girl seemingly popped out of nowhere. One day she just started posting a bunch of beautiful, cozy, wholesome, aesthetic type content about her job as a microbakery owner, where she sells things like bread and cookies out of a little stand in her front yard that she calls the Little Loaf Bakery. I can't think of a more picturesque life than this, really. This is a real life Hallmark movie. Viewers were instantly drawn to this fantasy. She gained over 100,000 followers really quickly within just a few weeks of starting this account, which is massively impressive. But soon people started to notice that a lot of the clips in her content seemed to be recycled and reused. Like every video she posted was kind of the same thing, essentially. They were all similar compilation style videos using the same quick clips. From my standpoint, it gives the impression that she likely batch filmed a ton of content in a single day or over the course of several days with her bread stand full of the same batch of baked goods. And it kind of hinted at the fact like maybe she wasn't in daily operation like she was portraying herself to be. Then people started to notice that almost all of her content was not just about her running her own microbakery, it's about how she wants to encourage you to run your own microbakery. It was a little too pushy. Like she's not just documenting her lifestyle, she's actively trying to convince you to live the same lifestyle. And what's the motive for something like that? Money. She came out with a course called the Microbakery School where you can pay her $500 to get access to her secrets on how to run a successful microbakery, which might be a justifiable cost if it's this treasure trove of information from a successful microbakery owner, except Jess is not a successful microbakery owner. People really started to dig now and they discovered several inconsistencies, like the QR code on her bread stand signage just takes you to the Wikipedia homepage. It has nothing to do with her bakery at all. It's a fake QR code for show. People also learned that the house that she's filming in front of isn't actually hers, it's her in-laws' house. She admitted later after she was caught that yes, in fact, she does live in an apartment in Arizona, but she moved out to Illinois temporarily to live with her in-laws, presumably to have a more aesthetic set for her microbakery content. There's also no online presence or social media or website linked to her supposed business, The Little Loaf, which you would think that there would kind of have to be to get the word out in your community faster. This day and age, we're not relying on word of mouth, okay? If you're setting up a bread stand in your front yard, you're of course going to use social media to get the word out. But there's no account for the Little Loaf Bakery. There's only an account for her microbakery course. She also claimed in the comments of several of her posts that she's operating her business under what's known as a cottage food license. But don't underestimate internet sleuths, okay? When they called her county's health department, there was nothing registered under that business name. She did not have a license. When she was called out on this, she was forced to admit that she didn't actually have a cottage food license after all. She lied about that, and therefore she could not legally sell her baked goods. So instead, she claimed that she was actually giving away her baked goods for free to her neighbors in exchange for being able to film them for content purposes, which is contradictory to what she says in this video.
Within minutes of opening, I had paying customers showing up and they were so happy to buy my bread.
Lied.
I even started to get thank you notes like this later that night. I sold out of everything on my very first day. And now, thanks to my microbakery, I am making extra money every single week and having a ton of fun doing it.
That's all a lie. No paying customers. She did not sell out on the first day. She was giving everything away for free and pretending to make sales so that she could film it and post it on social media, which then is how we're able to catch her in another huge lie. She would say all the time in these now deleted videos and in the comments of some videos that she was making a full-time income from her microbakery. And that full-time income allowed her to quit her job as a graphic designer. How can you be making a full-time income from your microbakery if you don't even have a license to be selling these things and you're giving everything away for free? That's the thing. She's not. This is not her full-time job. She is not a successful microbakery owner. But that's the facade she's putting on for social media in order to be able to sell her microbakery course where the real money is made. Her job is not to run a microbakery. Her job is to sell a course on how to run a microbakery. And even more pieces click into place when you find that she actually has several other Instagram accounts too. One of them is dedicated to her involvement in master resale rights. This is, in my opinion, a scam in which you sell courses on how to sell courses. It's very confusing, actually. So I do have an entire video on my channel dedicated to the master resale rights scam and how that operates if you're interested. But point being, she knows a thing or two about how to create a course and how to monetize it. And another thing, her husband Landon owns his own business called Clients and Community, where he also sells a course. His course starts at $97 a month and it teaches business owners how to drive sales using Facebook groups. Here's my personal theory. I'm stating this as a matter of my own opinion, not as a matter of fact. I believe that Jess's mission was to make money selling a course, but she didn't know what kind of course she wanted to sell yet. Both her and her husband have a history in the business of selling information. And somewhere along the way, she saw a window of opportunity within the community of microbakeries because they're cute, they're aesthetic, they're idyllic, and they would appeal to a lot of people. These kinds of promo videos for that kind of course would perform exceptionally well on the algorithm because they're preying on people's desires to make a full-time income from home. And boom, the idea to make a course on how to be a microbakery owner was conceptualized. She's not a microbakery owner, but she needs to make it look like she is for the social media purpose of marketing this course. She looks around and she realizes, this Arizona apartment, it's just not the right setting. Filming promo content here, it's not going to be that effective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to my in-laws' house in Illinois over the fall and winter, and I'm going to build out my set there. That's what I believe this is. This is like a Hallmark set. She shoots a bunch of content cosplaying as an at-home baker. She gains a lot of traction on social media very quickly, and then she starts selling this course before she even has a cottage food license to legally be able to sell her own baked goods. That's my theory, that's my personal opinion, and my interpretation of the situation. That would be like me wanting to create a course on how to be a successful ski instructor or something. But there's no snow down here in Florida, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move up to be with my family in Washington State for the winter. I'm gonna spend some time up on the mountains. I'm gonna get some content of me and my ski gear. I'm gonna get some going down the slopes a couple times. I'm gonna find some volunteers hanging around and ask them if they'll pretend to be my paying customers for my videos. And then I edit all the footage together into these little promo videos that I put on social media, encouraging people to buy my $500 course that I'm calling Ski Instructor School. Even though I've never skied a day in my life and I don't have any paying clients, that doesn't matter because my income is not coming coming from ski instructing, it's coming from the course ski instructor school. That is essentially what I believe is going on with Microbakery Girl. It's shady, it's scammy, it's all based on a lie, it's a cash grab, and it's a very, very smart one. Too bad the internet is smarter and they called her out on it before it really began, because she was already being called out on these lies before her microbakery school went live. And you know what? I didn't even cover all of it. There are even more inconsistencies going on right now, like she's leaving Illinois and moving back to her Arizona apartment. So I would highly encourage you to check out some of the deep dive videos I have linked below if you want more information on this whole situation. And for the final section of this video, I could not let you go in the Lying Influencers video if we did not cover the TikTok ban confessions. This video would not be complete if we didn't talk about this. As we all know, back in January, there was a threat of TikTok being banned in the United States. This obviously sent a lot of TikTok creators into a panic and caused them to act in a very strange way. Many people believed that come January 19th, TikTok would cease to exist. The app would go dark, you wouldn't be able to access it anymore, the videos would go away, the profiles would be deleted, whatever that looks like. Well, in response to that assumption, some of the platform's biggest creators hopped on this bizarre trend of confessing how they've been lying to their followers all along. And they would use the audio from the show Family Guy that says, "Now that we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you." And the premise being them saying, "Now that TikTok is dying, there's one more secret I have to tell you, and it's that I've been lying to you." Usually about something that was a foundational element of their content and therefore of their social media success. Here's what I mean. I'm gonna rapid fire several examples at you. This creator is best known for putting on absurd amounts of foundation and then turning it into a beautiful makeup look magically. She would coat her face with 10 pumps of foundation that was entirely the wrong shade for her, and then miraculously blend it out into something that actually looked good. It was the shock value of those beginning foundation shots that would hook the viewer in and be like, where is this going? And then as a part of this TikTok trend, she confessed that she would actually wipe off some of the foundation in order to get to the final look. Admitting that she didn't use that much foundation at all, that was a lie. This creator, who would post a bunch of aesthetic videos of her making fancy flavored and shaped ice cubes, admitted that she never actually used any of the ice cubes, that it was all for show, for the video, it was content, it was not real life. Confirming everything that I believe to be true that we talked about in my video about restock influencers, where we covered this weird ice cube trend. There was this guy who would post videos of himself cooking and baking things in the dashboard of his car in the Arizona heat. He admitted that half of those videos were fake. You'd see him do things like putting raw cookie dough on a baking sheet and putting it in the dashboard of his car, and then he would take them out a period of time later and they would be fully baked. I guess what he would actually do is put them in the oven or something and just pretend that the car was hot enough to bake them. This guy's video went viral around the holidays for his really unique and thoughtful gift of giving his wife an advent calendar full of books, and he received so much praise and adoration at the time for how thoughtful that was, and where can I find a guy like this, and how perfect of an advent calendar that was. And then later he admitted that actually his wife picked out all the books for the advent calendar herself, kind of indicating that filming himself putting together this advent calendar was all for show and all for views, and that his wife knew what was coming and she knew what she was getting. This creator posted videos of himself shopping for his Squishmallow collection and finding super rare ones in stores. It would be like a shot of him in the camera telling the camera, "Oh, I'm hoping that I'm gonna find this one particular Squishmallow when I go inside." And then surprise, it's right there. He does find it and it's this big celebration. He later admitted that, quote, "I did not find the Squishmallows in stores. I ordered them online and I pretended." This one is especially bothersome to me for some reason. Like, what a crazy calculated thing to lie about. Making it seem like you are just the luckiest Squishmallow hunter alive. Making other collectors really jealous of you that you're somehow able to find these super rare Squishmallows in the wild when it was all an illusion. This creator does a lot of mukbang content of her eating enormous amounts of food, specifically sushi, and counting all of the sushi rolls that she eats at these all-you-can-eat restaurants. And she admitted during this trend that she doesn't actually eat all of that food. She's lying about the quantities and it was all for show. And finally, here's a creator who worked in a boba shop and they would post different boba recipes and show themselves drinking them and enjoying them. This video in particular says that they would have 3 to 4 drinks a shift. Well, it turns out that they admitted that they hated boba because of the texture. You get the point. A bunch of creators creators coming out and admitting that they lie in their content. And it just makes you wonder why lie in the first place, but also why admit to it now? I think some of them truly thought that they would be posting these videos to TikTok and then a couple days later the app would be gone and they would cease to exist and there would be no record of their confessions. Like, oh, I said that, but no one has a screenshot of it. You can't find the evidence, so therefore, who knows if it was true or not? Or maybe they were doing it as a last-ditch effort to stir up some engagement and some views on their account because they're about to be losing an income stream when the app goes away. But I think on the whole, these confessions are a bit weak. They're not dropping these earth-shattering confessions. They're not ruining themselves by releasing this information. They're confessing to pretty small, inconsequential things that I think most viewers could pick up on the fact that they were lying about anyway, but it's still significant because if there's creators out there admitting to lies this small, just imagine what they're not admitting to. There's plenty of influencers who stayed completely silent during this trend, didn't say a word, perhaps maybe because they are sitting on some pretty earth-shattering lies that would ruin them if the information ever got out. And with that, my friends, that is it. That's all the examples I have for you for this episode of Lying Influencers Part 2. And just to recap, I think this kind of video is important because it gives us a sneak peek. It pulls back the curtain a little bit and exposes these tiny hairline fractures in the influencer foundation to prove to the viewer that there is always more going on behind the scenes and there is far more than we'll ever know about. And it teaches us a valuable lesson that we should be consuming social media content through a skeptical lens. At this point, I kind of assume that every influencer is lying. I've seen too many examples where that was the case to think otherwise. And that's really, really unfortunate because like I said earlier, I know there are influencers out there that are really ethical. They're doing it the right way. They're being honest. They're being truthful, but it's an uphill battle. They're going against the grain. It's the small batch of bad apples that give the impression that all influencers are lying to you all the time. It's kind of sad that we have to be on the defense, always hunting for the different lies, always assuming that we're being lied to, but unfortunately that is kind of the reality, and as long as influencers are lying to us, I'll be here to call them out on it. That's everything I have for you for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.